Hey gang, I'm the hatless bedhead runner, but I have an important message for you this morning. Hey, have you ever been discouraged? I think we all have. Think about Tim Tebow years ago playing for the Florida Gators, and his team lost a very important game to an SEC rival, and they were devastated and discouraged. And Tebow, in his discouragement, rose up and said to his team, he said, "Hey, listen, I'm your leader. This is on me." He said, "I'll never let this happen again, to the best of my ability." And they went out the next 2 years and won 2 national championships. Tebow let his discouragement drive him. I think about David. Before he was a king, he was on the run. Saul was trying to kill him, the other king. Philistines were after him, different people. He was battling, and he had these men, these mighty men, hundreds of them, that were following him. And they were out on a mission one day. And while they were out on a mission, they left their camp behind with their families, their wives and kids. Another enemy snuck in and kidnapped and ransacked this camp. And so when David and his men got back, they were devastated. They were devastated. Their wives and their kids were gone. And these big, mighty men, these strong fighting guys, were now crying because their hearts were broken. And they were discouraged, and so was David. And in fact, they wanted to kill David. They blamed him. And so it's a difficult spot. The Bible says in that moment, David did 2 things. Number 1, he encouraged himself in the Lord. He just took heart. He says, "You know what? I've got a big God, a God who can do anything." And the next thing he did, he took action. He said, "Guys, we're going." He said, "Some of you are going to stay back, watch the camp." He said, "The rest of you, we're going to get our families back." And he vigilantly led his troops to go and recapture the stolen families and have a great victory. He let his discouragement drive him. This past week, I was discouraged over some things in my church, different families going through some stuff, and people talking about leaving, other stuff that was going on. And it's, as a pastor, that hits you right in the heart. And you can be discouraged, and you can take a downturn. Or this morning, I got up and I said, "Hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to several people I haven't seen in a long time, people that I let them know I was praying for them. I let several of our church families know I was praying for them." And I became very encouraged. And after a while, I was getting responses back. And I now have 2 meetings this week with 2 men that I haven't seen in church for a long time. 2 men that are hungry to come back to God and their families. And I've let my discouragement drive me to do things I wasn't willing to do before. So today, what is it you're discouraged about? Let the discouragement not keep you down. Let it lift you up. Let it push you forward. Let your discouragement drive you. Get out there and do what needs to be done. Defeat the enemies in your life. Stay humble.